Diane Chamberlain with Bayport Polymers and Baystar is going to be our first speaker of the day. But Diane, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Russell. And I have a few slides to talk about, but most importantly, I'm here just to tell you a story of the resilience and the economics of the Houston area that many of you hopefully will recognize yourself in those stories. I'm going to talk a little bit about, and let's see, does this go my slides? Oh, wait, no, that's not me. As we get my slides up, I want to say today, I want to talk about, does anyone here a Simon Sinek fan? Simon Sinek talks a lot about the why. Yeah, exactly. Yay, I'm so glad to hear somebody. So most people focus on the what, right? What do I do? I am a polyethylene company. That's the easy part. How do I do that? I have a lot of reactors. I have a lot of people. We have dangerous jobs. It's very important to keep them safe. And I want them to go home every day and be able to take care of their families. That's how. But why? Why do I do that? And I do that because we believe we are making products that make people's lives better. So I'm going to focus on a little bit of why about myself first, and then the why of my leadership team, our overall organization, some of our core values, and the why of our parent companies and why they wanted to invest in this area. So hopefully we can get my slides up. Are you guys looking at them on the sides? Okay. So I am Diane Chamberlain. I am a chemical engineer. Hopefully many of you recognize yourself in that. I loved math as a child, loved science, loved chemistry, and loved economics. I always wanted to know if people were going to actually make money on it. I'm a Freakonomics advocate. If anyone listens to Freakonomics, I always believe that people make decisions based on the choices that they have in front of them. So for me, becoming a chemical engineer was a very natural thing. I grew up in Utah. If anybody knows anything about Utah, Utah was still an area and still is a very family-focused area and a very focused on traditional roles for people. So for me, doing a different role than that was a lot of fun. I never had a hard time doing that, but I enjoyed it. I started with Chevron. I don't know if we have any Chevron people in the crowd. I became Chevron Phillips. I know there's some Chevron Phillips people in the crowd. Yay, love my Chevron Phillips. And it created a culture of people that has been with me my entire career. I started offshore, had a really good time flying around in airplanes and getting to do things offshore, came to Texas as quickly as I possibly could, and grew up at Cedar Bayou. Out right on I-10, for anyone who hasn't been there before, was able to work in operations, did process control, then did optimization, went into business, have supervised people in everything from customer service to getting an MBA and then going into sales, learning how to play golf. I didn't know how to do that before. I had to learn that to deal with customers. And have enjoyed all of the things along the way. Ended up running some businesses. And then when we were going to really make America's Styrenics got formed, I moved over to Shell. And it was a very different experience because Shell is a European company but has a very large influence in the U.S. and in the Houston area. And I know there are lots of Shell folks here. And I enjoyed my time there getting to know people all around the world. And understanding their backgrounds and how they can work together to actually make chemicals work for people all around the world. After that experience, I had the opportunity to join Baystar, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Baystar from then. We formed the company in 2018. So Baystar, why does Baystar exist? There's a company called Total Energies. They are a French company. They are also here in the U.S., and they had an existing polyethylene business. They also make polystyrene. All of this is all the what, right? But their desire was to take advantage of the advantaged feedstocks in the Gulf Coast, and they wanted to build an ethane cracker. They wanted to do that with a partner. So Borealis is their partner, and you may or may not have heard of Borealis. Borealis is a European company. They started with assets in Sweden, and in Norway, and merged with assets in Austria, so a very European kind of background. And as they brought the synergies of all of those together, they really wanted to bring the neat, innovative catalysts and technologies and those kind of things that they have, they wanted to bring those to the US. So Borealis very focused on wanting to bring technology to the US. Total Energy is very focused on finding synergies and wanting to bring them together. Why am I telling this story? Because this economic alliance actually helped to bring them together. They met with Roger, they met with Chad Burke, they were able to help find the Port of Houston and understand. I live on Port Road. There are 9 projects that were going on all at the same time, right? How lucky are we that in the Houston area, it's not one project of growth, it's 9, all fighting. We were literally fighting over who's going to park where and which roads are we going to use. And, well, wait, you can't bring your crane in because my crane needs to come in today, right? So that's very lucky to do that. But it's this economic alliance that helped bring people together and helped make sure that we were connected to the right people to make that happen. So we started in 2018. We very quickly did a groundbreaking on the cracker. It's in Port Arthur. We then immediately did a groundbreaking here in the Houston area. We're in Pasadena. We had an existing business that sells about 880 million pounds of polyethylene right now. And we hired McDermott for both of our projects. So very large EPC company, working on both of them in 2019. Does anybody remember what happened to McDermott in 2019? They went bankrupt. Okay, which is fine. We had lots of challenges along the way. We went through bankruptcy with them, kept working with them on both of the projects. They stayed devoted to both of our projects, which I really appreciate. And then what happened in 2020? We had COVID. So we had 2,500 people working on the project on the cracker, and we had 1,500 people working in Pasadena when COVID hit. Many of you in this room will recognize this story. And we had an existing business of operators that were working 24 hours a day, making polyethylene, and I signed 250 essential worker letter forms on the first day of when we did the lockdown, and I'm sure many of you did the same thing. Because why? Why did I do that? Did I do that because I believed that it was dangerous for people to not leave their house? No, I did that because I believed we could keep them safe and we could continue to help people to have the products that they need during this time of COVID, right? It was a really hard time. No one knew the right decisions to make, and we made lots of difficult decisions along the way and did it with teamwork to do it. It delayed both of our projects, of course, but we did well and we were resilient throughout that process. In the 2021, you'll recognize this story as well. I hired a commercial person. I'll tell you a little bit more stories about him in a minute. But then we were hit by Uri just like you guys were hit by Uri, right? And it was tough. It was a tough time for us. We were able to make some innovative decisions, and I'll talk about our core values and how that fits together. But we were able to make some innovative solutions and come up very quickly after Uri within the first couple weeks and able to really supply customers very quickly. So we were very proud of being able to do that. Now here we are in 2022. We are now making ethylene on our cracker, and we're looking forward to our future. End of the year, probably really early next year, we'll start making a lot of product on Bay 3. So we will be triple the size of our company. Okay, so why do these leaders want to be here? We started the company as you'll recognize this story too, traditional joint venture. I had secondees in each of the roles, other than myself. I had someone from each of the parent companies, and over time, we have transitioned those to local people who are now the leadership team here. And this leadership team is made up of, on the left-hand side, a general counsel. European parent companies, they didn't understand why I would need a lawyer. But luckily, we talked him into it, and our general counsel does everything from helping people understand their business loans on personal things because she's in our office, to really working with McDermott and doing all sorts of large things as well. But she's a great general counsel. Yadi's on the top. He's Finnish. He's from Borealis. He loves Texas so much. His birthday was yesterday, and he killed an alligator. He's very excited. So he made the decision to join Baystar. and we're getting him a green card. I really think he's going to become a U.S. citizen. So it's a great story about Yachty. Myself, you see already. Shauna came from upstream, and she is our person who makes sure that we are trustworthy and has the main focus on ensuring that we are able to pay back our $3 billion loan. We call it our $3 billion hole that we're digging. So her financial background in being able to create a treasury department when we didn't have one, work with the parent companies, figure out how to refinance, do all those kind of things, has been really key. And then finally, Brad. Brad is a person who has 30 years of experience in the polyethylene industry, and he decided to come and join our small company because that's where he got to build a team and really start it from scratch, right? And be able to make the authentic customer relationship that he's always wanted to do. So we're very glad to have Brad with his experience from Sasol to LyondellBasell to Osterman and all different areas. You guys will recognize a lot of those names. We have a very small industry, and you all know that. And it's very important to get to know each other and to continue to work together over time. Because what happens in our industry a lot is the assets continue to run, but the names on the door change, right? So when we started in 2018, we have a site that is 40 years old. So it was very important for us to make sure that that site had core values of a family, and we maintained that family. Caring is our foundational core value. We have dangerous jobs. We were very proud of the fact that and I still am proud of the fact, no lost time injuries since 2012, so that was long before we became a company, but still, very few recordables. We had one recordable in the first months that we existed, and people debated, should we report that or not? Absolutely, we should report it. We should talk about it. We should help the guy in the lab who breathed some vapors that made him uncomfortable, and we should share that story. And so from then on, we've been very open. We've only had one other recordable. The two projects, we had very few recordables, no lost times. I'm very proud of the safety record of everything we've been able to do. We're trustworthy. As a joint venture, it's very important to be trustworthy and to make sure that we're giving the reality of what's going on to our parent companies, to our customers, and to all of our partners that we work with. Focused, the Uri story of being able to come up very quickly. We have everybody on site. It's been fun for people to say, I immediately know. I am not a manufacturing plant that is run by a corporation that is far away. We no longer have anything that is outsourced or overseas or anything. We're all on site. We're innovative. We have a profit improvement program. It's called PROP. And we listen to ideas. We have people that came from lots of different companies. Most of our people did not start working at our company because we started with 99 people. We now have 250. We'll be up to 300 soon. And we want to hear the ideas of what did you learn when you worked at GE? What did you learn when you used to work at ExxonMobil or other places? And how can we use that information and try a new process? We're happy to do that. Finally, fun. We have embedded all of these things throughout our people processes. We hire based on them. We make decisions on merit. We utilize them to do recognition for people. We talk about them on a regular basis in our newsletters and all of the different things. This is not just a thing on the wall. So for fun, how many people use rail cars? We all use hopper cars. You get to pick the 3 letters, right? So we've been purchasing a lot of rail cars to be able to use for our new unit. We decided to do BPT, Bayport Polymers, but we were so excited that we went on the internet and fun was available. We have fun rail cars. Why not? So we do it with customers and ask our customers to take a picture when the fun rail car comes to visit you. You know, what are you going to do with it? So that's the fun we have. It's not that we're playing practical jokes, but yeah, we're at work a lot. We want to have fun while we're doing it, right? So why do people come to work? We developed a recognition program called the Power of Partnership because we had a lot of service agreements and we were working closely with the parent companies. And we wanted to recognize those same core values, those good behaviors in our service providers. And we gave away some awards to, we have and we continue to give away awards to Total Energies and Borealis folks that help us. But one of the innovative things is the guy in the middle. His name is Phil Cho. He works for a very small trading company. We knew that we needed hexene. And for anyone who has is working with a lot of feedstocks and makes polyethylene, hexene is hard to find right now. So we decided that we should try to buy some from Korea. Okay, we're a really small Texas-based company. We don't know how to do that. We had to figure out how to do letters of credit, how do we do duties, how do we do all this stuff. And this was Phil's very first deal. It was his first deal. He spent, hours and hours and an amazing amount of hours helping us to figure out all the different pieces. And we finally got isotainers of hexane that came in through the Port of Houston and are now with us. So we gave him a power partnership. It's who we are in terms of we want to recognize the people that work with us because that's why we're here. We all want to work together. We're hiring. Like I said, we had 99 people. We have 250 now. We have, you'll recognize this, 19% of our population could retire at any time, right? How about you guys? Similar? A lot of, if you have a chemical plant that's been around for a long time, I'm very proud of the fact that I have 3 42-year employees. I'm glad I have them. They could retire at any moment. I have one employee who now she hit 30 years of perfect attendance. So, right? We have a great family and we love to have people. 39% of the people who join Baystar do it because they were recommended by someone who already works there. They might be their nephew or their grandson or their sister or their daughter, or they have a contractual relationship with us already, right? They've gotten to know us, they like our culture, and that's why they join us. I put these 2 labels on here just because last week, we went to LSU and did a career fair to look for people. The majority of the people, we hire interns and we have them actually do something. I don't have a big intern program that's special, right? I just have, here's some stuff we need to get done. Please work on that. And the interns like it, and a lot of them end up joining our company, which is really good for us. But what's not on here is the Houston area. The majority of our operators have process technology degrees from San Jac. Or from Lee College. It's a great college, yeah. So I'm giving a shout out to my San Jac folks right here. Yes, we're very glad you're there helping to train our people. But we're continuing to hire. We are customer driven. I go back to my why. Why do I love that I have a fabulous team, but why do they exist? We are not the biggest. We do not have 1,100 people in a lab developing products that have never existed before. We exist to talk to you as a customer about how can our polyethylene make your process better. That's what we do. That's why we're here, and that's why we want to talk to you. So our customers tend to be called converters or all different areas. We make things for outdoor equipment and living, geomembranes. Rotomolding is one of the areas that we really focus on. We do film packaging as well as all those other areas. That's what we do now. Whoops, let me go back. But the world is changing in terms of polyethylene, right? So we're focused on particular areas now, and the overall industry is struggling. Hopefully you recognize this story. We are engineers, so we can't help it. We have made polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, polycarbonate, all the different MMA. We mix them all together, and we can make 9-layer films, right, that can keep your lettuce safe for like 2 weeks in the refrigerator. It's amazing, right? I love it. But then it's really hard to recycle. So now we've mixed all the products together, and it makes it really difficult to do. So, but it's a great product, right? We do a lot of amazing things, and now the industry is really focusing on simplicity. Borealis is helping us to bring some of that. Their focus has been on creating monolayers instead. So they focus on doing something like this pouch at the bottom. Instead of it having different properties and lots of different things, they can make it all out of polyethylene, and you'll be able to throw it in your recycle bin. So we're looking forward to seeing that kind of stuff. This is the trend of what's going on. You see it everywhere. For any of you who's holding a water bottle right now, right? That water bottle used to be really thick, right? Now when you open up the water bottle, it's really thin. Why do we do that? Because it's cheaper to make. It's more economic, right? We're making decisions on how to make things better for people. Your cars get lighter and lighter. We have a couple really important focuses. Total Energies is very good at making fuel tanks. And fuel tanks are the more you can make them out of polyethylene, they're lighter. You can make all the cool little, it fits into different spaces into your car, right? So you can make it smaller and move it. We make that for them. Borealis, we're really looking forward to. Their niche is they're focusing on wire and cable. So all of the fiber optics, all of the different big wires and all that kind of stuff, they're all sheathed in black, right? That keeps you safe. It keeps you safe from the electricity. It also keeps the magic of fiber optics is making sure that you have zero contamination around them so that you get your high-speed internet, right? So we make the products that do those, and we sell those to Borealis. We will, I should say, as soon as we make them. Now, the other part is that we are going to make pipe. So pipe goes into water lines, conduit to protect those lines as well. So we now have built a whole brand new set of our lab. We didn't have one before. And our lab guys are getting ready and starting to extrude pipe and starting to figure out how to get our qualifications. So we're looking forward to learning that as we work with Borealis. So you can see that the performance will get better over time as you're working on setting new properties. The Borealis products are, I'll do a little bit of a how and what, because they allow you to streamline the process. Like I said, going to a monolayer instead of different kind of products, but also because it's a multimodal, for any of you tech nerds in the group, we have both a gas phase reactor and a loop reactor. So having both of them together makes it so you can make multimodal products instead of just single. So it's going to be complicated. We're looking forward to figuring out how to run it. But the other way is, why do we streamline the process? As I said with our team, we are all here in Houston. So when we work with customers, we want to make it easy for you. We just insourced our accounts receivable and our accounts payable and our credit. So we are ready to work with you. We're very proud of the fact that we can do a trial in 2 weeks. If you come up with something you want to do, we'll figure out how to make it happen on one of our reactors very quickly. And not everybody can do that, right? So proud of that. So here we are as Baystar. I know a lot of you recognize this as well because you're doing projects also. We started out with a blank set in 2019, and now, was it going to run the whole video? We'll just jump to the end. And here's the end. So here's once again the why. This is the gas phase reactors on the left, the loop reactors on the right, and in the background is my Bay 2 loop reactor and Bay 1, and in the back right next to that is the Port of Houston. So we're right next to the Port of Houston. We get to talk to them on a regular basis about what they're doing. And I'm very proud of seeing the lights of a new chemical plant here in Houston. We got to ride on the boat, the Sam Houston, last night, and every single person was taking pictures of the lights of all the refineries. Why do we do that? Because we're proud of our industry. We're proud of the fact that we have dangerous processes, dangerous jobs, but we're able to do it safely, caring about people, and making it so the people who don't necessarily understand our industry are able to have better lives and be able to enjoy the things in their life. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.